Hey Stampers, it's Brandy here, and I am so excited that you've joined me. I have a really cool technique for you today. We're going to use the Stampin' Up! Iridescent Treat Bags. Have you seen these treat bags? They're one of our online exclusives. So if you haven't, after today, you're going to want to get those ordered because I don't know how long they're going to last. These are so much fun. I've got a couple of really cool techniques for you and some cards. I actually did these at my BWE event, my BrandysCards World Card Making event, and the ladies absolutely loved them. And I've also had some of you reach out and say, I want one of these BWE books with all these tutorials in it. Well, I'm super excited. Stay tuned because we're going to be sharing all the details of our upcoming holiday gift card, and we're going to have an option where you can purchase a BWE book. Yeah, a BrandysCards World Card Making book as an add-on for your loved one and your crafting friend. So stay tuned for that, okay? But first, I'm excited. We're going to use the Totally Awesome stamp set. It is like totally awesome. So much fun. So here, let me show you under the camera. So this is the stamp set that we're going to use, or not the stamp set, this is the card we're going to make. Yeah, that is an iridescent treat bag. So fun and cool, right? So I'm going to take you through and show you exactly how I created that card today. And like I said, we're going to use this set, Totally Awesome. And you know, it's funny. At first, I didn't love him because I thought his head was like, I don't know, it looked like a tongue to me or something. I don't know. But now that I've used him, I do really actually like him a lot. So we're going to use, I love that the dies coordinate. And of course, you know, I could see using this design for any type of like ocean set, any type of water or anything like that. But like I said, I've got a couple different cards for you. Today, we're going to focus on our Totally Awesome card, but I've got some others for you that I'll be sharing where, well, I can't give it away. You got to stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump right in. These are the iridescent treat bags. So these are the treat bags that we're going to use. See? So, and if you're wondering what that is, that's just so I stay centered in the camera. All right, so that's what that is. Now, what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need something so that you keep, you don't burn your fingers, right? And you're also going to want a heat tool. So I have my heat tool here, and all I'm going to do is, this is actually a full bag, okay? So you can put, actually that paper's not cut to size, but you can put treats in here. You can put, you can put anything that you want in there, really, or you can put paper in there. But this is 2 pieces, and the reason that I'm going to use the 2 is because when I go to adhere it to my card, it's a little bit thicker, and so you don't see the adhesive underneath. So I'll show you that in a minute. So what am I doing right now? So I'm using my heat tool, and all I'm doing is melting the bags together. You know, has anybody ever used like the shrinky dinks, or like you've taken and done like shrink wrap on a present? I loved doing that over baskets, and when I do donations for fall festivals and things like that, it's something really fun to do. And I love how the plastic just kind of like, it just, I don't know, it's really cool how it shrinks up. Well, this is the same type of thing. And I'm just taking this, I am on level 2 for heat, and I'm just going to shut this off for just 1 second. I'm going to pick it up and show you how cool this is. Isn't that fun how that just like shriveled all up? But I'm not done yet. I want to keep going because the more shrivelly it is and the more melty it is, it kind of, I don't know, it just gives it a really fun look, but it also will help mask my adhesive underneath. And so you're going to melt these 2 bags together is what I'm doing. And so I'm just working my way around my iridescent treat bag. And I would love for you to leave me a comment. I actually have about 10 samples from my BWE event. Yeah, so I make samples for all the ladies to have at the tables. So they have one there in front of them if they have any questions along with their tutorial book. So leave me a comment. I would love to pick some random comments and send you one of these cards. I just love having the samples, right? So much fun. So I am just kind of finishing up, crinkling it all up, and then I'm going to flip it over, and it's not hot. Somebody actually asked me the other day, does it get hot? It does not. And that's a really good point. Does this bag melt into itself? Yes, it does. The two layers melt right into each other. And so that is how you kind of get maybe a thicker look to it. So I've flipped it over now, and I'm going to melt the back side. So you can kind of see it's all getting melty and crinkly, which I think is so much fun. I know your wheels are spinning and you're thinking about all of the fun things that you're going to be able to do with this. I think this is such a cool technique. Many of you know, if you've watched my channel, many of you know I love to create unique and fun backgrounds. That's why I love to do that for Creative 8 and for BrandysCards. So it's just really, really fun to do. Got a bubble right there. Looks like he's kind of bubbled up. So let's just melt him. Melt, 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 right? So just kind of getting it all good. And it's so much fun to watch it as it kind of all melts together. So just really, really cool. Okay, so if you're liking this technique so far, make sure that you give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. I'm so excited. The other day, I just had this dream of this lofty goal. We are at 92,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I am so over the moon excited, but I need your help. I really want to get to 100,000 so that, I get my plaque from YouTube and you guys can help me get there. So please be sure to subscribe. Click the subscribe, and also please share BrandysCards with your family and friends. If they love to craft, I hope to inspire them. We have lots of fun projects and lots of fun projects coming soon. So you definitely need to stay tuned for our Christmas 10 and 20 and our holiday Christmas party. So many fun things coming up. Yeah, so stay tuned for all that. Okay, so let's talk about our super cool crinkled bag. Now, you're gonna need a trimmer. So I'm gonna pull my trimmer out really quick, and I am going to measure a piece of cardstock here because I know that it does need to be this size. So it looks like it needs to be 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it under the camera here, and I'm going to trim this piece right here. So it is 3 3/4. All right. So I'm going to do it that way because it's a little bit, because it's so crinkly, right? It's like kind of bowing on me a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to move my trimmer, and this piece is at 5. So we're going to cut it here at 5. Perfect. There we go. Now I am good to go. I am ready to go. Now all the sizes and the dimensions will be in the tutorial. The tutorial can be found on brandyscards.com/blog. That is where I keep all of my tutorials, and you will be able to search it under the Turtly Awesome stamp set. And I do want to point out the Turtly Awesome stamp set or collection is in our annual catalog, so it will be good, available hopefully through May or actually I should say April to be safe, of 2026. So if you like this collection, it is available. However, these treat bags, well, they're an online exclusive, so I don't know about that, okay? So to make this card today, I have some white cardstock and I have Coastal Cabana. Now, I know you guys are thinking, well, I didn't see Coastal Cabana on the card. I know you didn't, but check this out. So here, let's just bring this in. And what I want to show you is just a really fun way to do this. So if you look at this and you put it on the white, gosh, it's like iridescent and it's got pinks and purples and, well, it's absolutely fantastic and I love it. But I wanted to mimic water. I wanted to kind of look like water and, ocean and that sort of thing. So I took a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock and I layered it right over the top. Now it has a fabulous blue-green watery tint to it, doesn't it? So see, you can change the look of that iridescent bag by what you put underneath it. Yeah, so who knew that would be so much fun? All right, So the cool thing is you can, I'm going to show you a couple different things. I have tear and stick tape here. We sell this at Stampin' Up. We also have our mini glue dots. Now I'm going to show you both adhesives because you can't see it with this crinkledness, okay? So I'm going to take some tear and stick tape, so whichever you have will work perfect. And I'm going to take my tear and stick tape and I'm just going to put it right here across the center. Then what I'm going to do, and again, this is more so for a visual, this is more so for the visual for you. But I'm going to go ahead and just pull that tear and stick tape off. And then I am going, because if you know, nobody wants to see the adhesive underneath, right? So that's why I want to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mini glue dots in the corners, just like that, all the way around in the little plastic here. And I think my neighbors decided to start cutting a tree down right when we started filming, so hopefully it's not distracting. But I've got my little mini glue dots and I've got my tear and stick tape so you can see both, but I'm just gonna line this piece up just like that. Yeah, and just stick it right down. Okay, so let's bring it up. See, you can't see that adhesive, either one of those. So the point is you can use either one, and the more crinkly you get it, the less chance you're going to see it. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is Stampin' Up! Has this super fun embossing folder that goes along with this collection. And so I've already embossed one of these pieces with my cut and emboss machine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere it right to the front of my card. Now, I did this because I just wanted an additional layer. And I'm going to show you one that I did adding designer series paper. For BWE, I believe we added designer series paper. But for this card today, I wanted to go rogue, do something a little different. So I used the embossing folder. And you can see that, perfect. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to add this layer. Now you could totally, if you wanted to, you could totally pop this up, right? Or you could just adhere it straight down. I think either one works perfectly fine just because this is so striking that, you know, I think it's perfectly fine. And if this bothers you, you could certainly trim off any excess. Sometimes cutting the bags, you know, they get a little bit, you know, sometimes you can kind of miss it because it's so bubbly and, you know, uneven. So when you get it, cut it, sometimes you might cut it a little uneven, but it does not bother me at all. So I just left it. All right, up next, I have just a white piece of cardstock, and I'm going to add some of my Stampin' Dimensionals. If you don't have Stampin' Dimensionals, at least the Stampin' Up! Foam dots, well, you got to get you some. They are amazing, absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal. Okay, so I hope y'all are leaving me comments. I have some cards to give away, and I hope that you've also subscribed. I'm so grateful for all of you and for being a part of my journey. I want to have a big celebration at the end. So, you know, if you could share Brandy's cards, I would be so grateful. And we'll have some more fun together, of course. All right, so I'm just bringing in some garden green. The garden green is going to be for my sentiment. So I'm just going to stamp, "It's okay to take it slow." So I'm going to just move that up a little bit, move this up so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I am going to stamp it right about there. Perfect, perfect. Now, ideally, I probably should have cut this to size ahead of time, but you know, we're crafters and there is always a way to do it, right? So I'm going to add that right here across my piece, but before I do that, let's add a banner. So to add a banner, I'm just going to snip up the center and then go from each corner to that center point. Now, I know some people like it absolutely perfect. For me, it doesn't bother me if it's not. So I just kind of made my own banner, and it's going to go right about there. But before we do that, let's move on and talk a little bit about the designer series paper. You know, Stampin' Up! Has amazing designer series paper. I love the paper. So, and there's so many fun things you can do with it. You know, we have designer paper that you can die cut the images out of, which is absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, you know, we have papers with type patterns and different things for decorating your cards and so forth. But the Turtly Cute paper, it's funny, I had like 10 packs or more for BWE, for my World Card Making event, and we've used them all. And when I said, oh my gosh, I want to film this video, where's that DSP? And it was like, we don't have any left. So, you know, we're just good. We've got a couple sheets, so we're just going to move on. And if you want to see it, though, it is in the annual catalog. Speaking of the annual catalog, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please be sure to reach out to me. You can find me at brandyscards.com/contact and send me an email. And be sure to add your mailing address, okay? I'll get a request for a catalog and there's no mailing address. And it's like, oh, you know, so send me your mailing address so that I can send you a catalog right away. And if you're a customer of Brandy's Cards, make sure that you are opted in for contact. That's right. In your customer profile, you're going to see a spot that you can opt in. And many people think that you're opting in only for Stampin' Up! But what you're actually opting in for is so that I can add you to my spring catalog mailing. So you need to make sure that you click that opt-in button. And if you haven't, you're going to hear from us. And that's why we're hounding you, because we want to send you our wonderful spring catalog. We love to love on our customers, and we hope that you feel the love through our customer appreciation mail. And speaking of that, you are going to get, for our October Happy Mail, you're going to get a totally awesome card, and it's going to be a little bit different, and you're going to be able to do your own treat bag. So I'm super excited for y'all to receive that. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you here that this designer paper, like I mentioned earlier, we've got the die cuts, right? And so you can die cut some of these guys out. But today I actually just went ahead and I just cut them out with my paper snips. But again, you can certainly use these dies. I just saw that the dies hadn't been used yet, so I think I'm just going to leave them be, and I just hand cut out my cute turtle. And so let's go ahead and start adding all of the fun stuff to our card. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive right across here. So this liquid adhesive is going to, whoop, hello, it's got a little stuck to my finger. So we're going to add that right about there. Yeah, I know you guys have done that before, right? And then you've taken it in to get your coffee and so forth and thought, why is half of my card with me? Yes, I know I've done that for sure. Okay, so I think this little turtle guy, he is my favorite. He is so cute. He's like on his, well, I would say his belly, but I guess it's his back, so he can like rub his belly. Right? I just love him. And so right now, I just want to give a big shout out to Miss Amanda. She is helping film my video, and I'm so grateful. We, and many of you, when you call or you email, you always say, tell Miss Amanda hi or tell Miss Tanya hi, and we just absolutely love that they that, you know, they are such a part of Brandy's Cards, and that you know that and that you love them too. I certainly couldn't do what I do without them. So just super, super grateful for their love and support. It takes a village. It really does, especially when we're preparing our customer appreciation mail. That is something that we love to send. And if you have been a recipient of it, we would love to hear how much you love it. So leave us a comment. Okay. So up right next, I have, oh, I thought the name was on there, the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. So, you know, it's interesting because these pearls, which are cloud cover, actually kind of blend into that really well. I mean, they work. It's certainly not cloud cover, but it works. But, you know, if I'm going to use my gems, I want to see them. Okay, so I want to see those guys. So I decided to go with Secret Sea. And when you put Secret Sea on there, it's still kind of got that blue tone and hue to it. But off of that iridescent treat bag, it just pops beautifully. Have a look at that. Is that not cool or what? I just thought that was super cool and a really fun way to dress that up. Now, I do want to show you an idea for your envelope. Now, when I cut for my envelopes, let me find my designer series paper. I will pull my trimmer out and I'll generally take a 6x6 piece. And so I'm going to cut it at 2.5 by 6 inches. So I'm just literally putting it in my trimmer and I'm just going to cut me a piece. That's it. So then once you do that, you're going to add liquid adhesive to your envelope flap. I don't actually have an envelope, so hang tight. I might be out of frame, but I'm still with you, I promise. All right, I am back. Yes, I always try to keep everything within reach distance here. It doesn't always work that way, but more often than not. And then, so what I'm going to do is, this is really important actually, if you're going to put stuff on your envelope flap, you want to make sure that you try to get that adhesive all the way to those edges. Otherwise, there's a good chance it's going to rip up in the mail. And when I say rip up, I really mean lift. You know, it might get caught on something or something along those lines. So if you take time to make a beautifully decorated piece of stationery and envelope, be sure to take time to just make sure that that is nice and adhered so it stays on there, okay? So I'm taking my paper snips and I am just going to trim around the flap. And I don't get too technical on this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna be glued down anyway. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. So there is your turtly cute card. Oh my gosh, absolutely precious. And then how about it's okay to take it slow and here for you always. So I really wanted to play up the turtle on the inside. I loved the bird on his head. And so I put one of the Darling Duckling gems right here from that same collection. I put that inside of the flower. And then I added here for you always. I just thought it was a really fun touch. And I don't know anybody who wouldn't get excited to get a turtly awesome card like that, right? So much fun. And I hope that you loved it. So if you haven't subscribed yet to Brandy's Cards, be sure to do so, okay? And also leave me a comment and be sure to like my video. That will help me reach other crafters out there looking for some inspiration. I'm so excited that you've joined me. We have our spring catalog. We're getting ready. I'm building my list right now. So if you're a customer of Brandy's Cards or you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, reach out to me. We'd love to send you a set of catalogs. I'd love to earn your business, answer any questions you have, but you remember, you have to be opted in. So if you're not opted into contact, it's a problem, big time. So reach out to us. We can teach you how to do that. Not a problem there. And of course, stay tuned. We have our holiday gift certificates coming up. And I'm so excited about my Brandy's Cards tutorial book. As an optional add-on for you, we have got a pretty box. We're going to wrap it for you, make it beautiful, and so that you can gift it to a crafting friend if you choose to do so. So, all right, everyone, thank you for joining me. I hope you felt inspired. I hope you go to your craft room, create something beautiful. Most importantly, send your cards. That's how we make a difference. So be sure to send those cards that you create. Thanks for stopping by. See you, everyone.